when I started my career, as a managing director of a bigger corporate, um, I inherited a business which had been making losses for 9 years, and it on the edge of shutting down. And I came in and realized one of the things I had to deal with was downsizing or retrenching. And as a Christian, it becomes challenging because you are now affecting the livelihood of many people. And on one end, you look at the impact the business is going to do in your community where you're working. And here you are now downsizing. You are reducing the number of employees. And also it's affecting the individuals. But then on the other side, if you look at it biblically, as a Christian, if you go to Genesis 3, verse 16 to 17, it really says, you know, people have got to work and it's painful. So downsizing is part of the pain. But now, as an entrepreneur and also as a Christian, how do you handle that? And I realized one of the most important things was to communicate well, sit down with the management first, then the employees, and make them understand the pain they're going to go through. But you have to do a lot of fairness. It brings in integrity and fairness in the way you're going to do the downsizing. On one hand, the company is losing money. On the other hand, you have to give a package which is fair and meaningful to the employee. So what you have to do is to look at the numbers. Ultimately, the business is going to make money. So whilst you're downsizing, whilst they're paying off the retrenchment, the company is going to make money. So what I then did is I really looked at the whole business and did a profile, a due diligence of the business, and look at all the other areas where other secondary cutting measures could come in. And I managed to turn around that business in 6 months, in a space of 6 months. Having done a fair downsizing, all the employees got their money staggered over a period of time, those who had been retrenched, but at the same time, the company was up and running. What I've learned in my journey of entrepreneurship is when you are starting a new venture, you need to make sure that you've done your research. Market research is critically important. You start with your desk research to look into the area which you want to get involved in and make sure you actually understand the business. If you don't understand anything yourself, even just the basics, then don't get involved in. Because one of the principles I learned very quickly in management is you cannot manage something which you don't know or which you don't understand. Because, your employees will run circles or rings around you. So that will help you to start up quicker or turn around quicker. As an entrepreneur, one of the key areas of success I've come to realize is communication skills. Communication skills are critically important. You need to be a good communicator, and communication comes with understanding people and understanding people's needs. And need area is a key area as well. Yes, communicating, but I also mention, need area to be able to identify what makes an individual tick, what makes them tick. And you realize that, it's not all about money. which makes a person gives you the biggest output. But just, sitting down with an employee, just, appreciating them, uh, talking to them, finding out more about their family, their life, it is so motivating and so stimulating. So that's an area which I've also realized is very, very important in terms of getting output, especially out of employees.